Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Kathleen Benjamin here, and in today's video we are going to be talking about eyebrows. Whether your eyebrows are sparse, whether they just need a little filling in, or whether they need a lot of attention like my eyebrows. In today's video we're going to cover that and what your options are to fill in your brows. So if that interests you, continue watching. Over the years, one of my biggest challenges are my eyebrows. Right now they're filled in, okay? But I'm gonna show you how I fill them in and just some of the other options that are available to you if you're looking to just kind of brighten up your brows a little bit, whether they just need a little attention or whether they need some major attention like my brows. I'm gonna share with you today how to do that. I'm gonna hop off the camera, I'm gonna take these brows off, and I'm gonna show you how I pencil in my brows, along with some other options available to you if you're interested in any of those. Okay, so you can see I just took off my brows. You can see that this one here is a little bit more challenging. There is an old microblading on here, as well as I have some hair, just like sparse hair here. This eyebrow is what I consider my favorite brow. It has more hair, right? And it has microblading on it also, but it's not as faded as this one. Now this one I could get away with if the other eyebrow looked like that with just going out. But for the most part, what I do is I like to pencil in my brows. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have hair, but it's light, you can go in there and you can take like this brow mascara and just go in there and it has little tiny fibers in here. And you can just go in there and brush this onto your brows and it will color it in, and then it washes off. If you have like bare spots like this, like I have here, I recommend, you can do one of two things. You can go in there and you can take a powder and fill that in. Or if you like more of a precise look like I do, and I like to make like hair-like strokes, I go in there and use a pencil. And for that, I would use this pencil here. I love these pencils. I've used probably every different brow pencil there is out there. And the Benefit Brow and the Precision Brow is one of my absolute favorite pencils to use. And they're not cheap, but they're so well worth the price if you have challenging brows like I do. Now, if you like the way a powder brow looks, Benefit also has a palette like so, and it has a bunch of different colors in here, as well as a wax to keep it in place. And you can sort of mix the colors together. You don't really want like one flat looking brow because it'll look just too artificial. So you want to kind of make it as natural looking as possible. And I always recommend starting off with a lighter color and then working your way up to a darker color and just kind of adding it as you need it. And then don't look up really close in the mirror to your brows, like stand back and look at it to make sure it looks more natural. Another option is if you have lots of brows and your brows are turning gray, then you can go in and you can use this product here. This is from Wonderskin. It is a Wonder Blading Brow Stain and Mask. And what you do is you apply it to the areas with short strokes, completely covered and no skin visible. Leave on for approximately 60 seconds. The longer you leave it on, the more saturated your color will be. Using a damp cloth or tissue, gently swipe and remove it away. So this is going to stain the brows, so it's going to last for you a little bit longer. So this would be a really great option for those of you fortunate enough to still have lots of brow hairs left. Okay. So for the sake of today's video, I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you how I do my challenging brow. And hopefully it'll help somebody out there who has challenging brows like I do. I take this Benefit Brow Pencil. It's in the color 3.75, which is like a light brown. Feel free to use whatever color matches your hair, but a good rule of thumb is to start off lighter than you think, because you don't want to look like Groucho Marx. Okay, so what I can do is you can see that it's very, very patchy. So to start off, I'll go in and I'll just go from the corner of my nose and I'll take it and I'll start right there. And I follow the pattern of the old microblading, so I have that to follow, but if you don't even have that to follow, this is what you can do. Just start off the end of your nose, go up, make a dot here, right? Then you can take it and put it in the center of your eye and the pupil and make a dot here, right at that arch. And then you can go here and do it right at the end of your brow right there, okay? So now you have a guide where you can go these three different areas, and now what we're gonna do is we're really gonna connect those dots. So what I start off doing first is I go in and I start underneath here, right where that old microblading is, and I kind of bring it up to meet that hair right here, right? And then I follow that straight up to that dot, right up out here, okay? Then I start here, and I kind of bring that over to hit that dot there. So now I have these areas connected. I have the start, and I have the arch, and then I have the ending. Now what I do next is I go in, and this is where a precision brow pencil comes in handy, because I like to go in and make like hair-like strokes to make it look as natural as possible. So what I'll do is I will follow the way that my hair grows. And here you can see how this grows up here. So I'll keep going in and I'll keep making like hair-like strokes that go up, right? And then as the direction of the hair changes, I change the direction of the pencil. And I just keep going up and I pull it out. You can see that it's making like hair-like strokes out to the end there. It's not like I'm scribbling it in and just kind of drawing it in. I mean, if you're gonna do that, then you might as well just use a powder because you're gonna get that same effect. But because I like it to look like hair, this is what I do. So what I continue doing is just making like flicking motions up like so, and that it sort of matches the other brow. Now, the thing I find really important is to make sure I get that arch in there, right? And to make sure I don't get too heavy on the front part of my brow here so that it looks like it was stamped on. Now, out here, I don't care, like I try not to bring it down too much. I'll bring it out to the side like so and upwards, right? Because I don't want my brow coming down and drawing my eye down like this. I want it to kind of come up and pull it upwards like that. So if I bring this brow down too hard like so, like this, and cover it in, can you see how that draws that eye down and just kind of makes it look heavier? I don't want to do that. It's the last thing I want to do. So I will go in there, and if that happens, like simply just go in there and remove that tail that's coming down and just bring it upwards like so. And you can see already how that just kind of made the eye look lifted there. And I bring it up. And then I stand back and I look at it far away, not in a magnifying mirror because that'll be too close and I'll make it too heavy and too dark. And I look at it to make sure that it looks natural, it doesn't look too overdone. Okay, let's go do the other side. You can see that I'll make my dot there. This I can pretty much see where that arch is right here, and then at the end here. And again, I'll go in, and for this brow, I'll start underneath. And what I want to do is connect all this, like this bare spot in here where it's microbladed. I want to go in there, and I do a very faint line underneath here, and then I just follow that. And I'll just kind of bring it up and make like hair-like strokes just to fill that in. Now this brow, I can pretty much, it's not as challenging, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier. The challenging thing about it is trying to make this darker brow here like blend in with the lighter part. And once you start doing this, it doesn't take that long to do. But I find that brows are probably the most important thing that you can do. And again, just to kind of soften it up, I'll go in there with the spoolie and I'll brush everything upwards just to kind of make it look blended. Now at this point, like, so the summertime comes and you're sweating and it's hot and you're afraid that your brows are gonna wipe off. Well, they will. I can guarantee you that. Sometimes what I do then is I'll go in and I'll take some powder and I'll go over the top of it. I'll take a lighter color, right? I don't want to go too dark because I don't want to make those brows look too heavy or too dark. And I'll just gently go over the brow with it just to kind of set it in place so I don't wipe it away throughout the day, okay? You can use a translucent powder too. You don't need to use a brow powder. So if you have just a setting powder, just go in there and lightly dab it, right? And just set that in place. And I know sometimes, for me, if I'm having a hot flash or if it's a sweat, if I'm just like hot for some reason and I'm trying to put my brows on and it's really wet, like using a powder prior to that will just help with that with the pencil staying in place. So this is something extra you can do. I'll show you in 1 second. What I'll do is I'll go in, I'll take a flat brush like this, okay? go in and take a little tiny bit of concealer. I mean, when I'm saying a little tiny bit, I need a little tiny bit. You do not need much. I'll go in, I'll take my brush, and I'll wipe most of it off, right? Because we don't want it to be too heavy. And I'll go in and I'll clean up underneath that brow if I got a little messy. And I'll focus on the arch part of bringing that in, because it'll just make it look higher there. And I'm always trying to make my brows look lifted, right? I don't want anything looking too flat. Go in there and you can see how that just kind of lifted it and just made it look a little bit sharper looking. And I used a very little bit. So you can see how that just kind of lifted it. Really important not to bring it down too far. So just remember, you're beautiful inside and out at any age. Okay guys, there you have it. A simple trick to deal with those challenging brows. If you're fortunate enough not to have challenging brows, then you also have some options there too. So comment below, let me know what your favorite brow trick is. I'd love to hear from you. If you gained any value from this video, please consider subscribing, giving this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye everyone.